because you have private first class, if I'm correct.
Yes. Yep, that's correct.
Yep. So your private first class is basically a private proficient, and then you go up. Your corporal is pretty much the same as that, and then your sergeant's pretty much a full corporal here. And it's just really interesting how the tiers don't marry up as well. I know when I was a sergeant, I was the same rank as a staff sergeant, and yeah, it was very interesting how they really match up as well as I thought they would.
We even have that problem in our own armed forces. So the Marines, they have a little bit different. Marines are probably a little bit closer to your rank structure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The third level is a lance corporal and then a corporal. So they do have 2 ranks of corporal.
Yeah.
So it's really similar. Yeah. It is strange. I think the navies all pretty much, because everything was based off the British Navy, even ours, and the tradition remains. And so the structures are similar, but I don't know where the U.S. Army, once they decided to put their chevrons facing the wrong direction, it all went to hell. That's how I look at it.
So Nathan, when you talked about what motivated you to first put on the uniform, over the years, decades, what has changed for you, and what do you see in your future and towards the end of your career?
That's a very good question, actually, Travis. There's been times in my career where I don't know whether next year is going to be my last and the like. I'll look back and always be fond of my career, what I've achieved and what I've done. And everything that I see now, actually, what the Defence Force is doing, our Defence Force is doing moving forward, always seems to be busy, and we always seem to be moving we're slowly starting to move with the times, and the technology that's changing, which is really good to see for these young soldiers joining now, and the training that they can get leading up to, when they decide to get out. A couple of years ago, I would have said I was discharging, but now, being at the rank of Warrant Officer and having a bit more responsibility where I have, I think I definitely want to stay around as long as I can. And with the knowledge base that I've got, I can do a lot to help those that are joining now. Even if I go into a recruiting role, help those who are joining now. Just tell them how it is. Don't try and as you've heard stories in the past. People join and they go, oh, no, you can go over here, you can go there, you can change over. But I think you just need to tell them what is actually happening. Just tell them the truth straight up and say, this is where we are moving. And unless you can be with that, then it's probably not the right thing for you.
Yeah, that's great. I love hearing the perspective of what those who are to replace us. So we're always looking for our replacement. And that's a great perspective to have, especially as you have progressed in your career, and making sure that we have successors that are going to be successful, and they're also motivated to come in and wear the uniform like you.
No, exactly. And I think as well, and you both, I know I keep saying attest to, but it's definitely your family support that you have. Without the love of my partner, Katie, and her little girl and my family, we couldn't do what we do. And without them, I think we'd be lost. So without our families there to support us, we wouldn't be able to do the job that we can do. So my love goes out to them, and also all those families out there that support their loved ones doing what they do for their country. And we'd be lost without them.
Oh, well said. And that's very true. And one of the things, my wife did 21 years active duty in the Navy as well.
Oh, so, awesome.
Yeah. She's I wouldn't say she's like a real tough hombre anymore, but back in the day, man. But one thing I'll tell both of you too, is being removed from it as long as I have been, because I keep saying, I retired, 10 years ago. Actually, now it's been 11, and you miss it. It's a funny thing when you first get out. It's kind of, hey, it's a new adventure or whatnot. But I think part of it is, we're still, for the U.S. anyway, it's still a bit of a quagmire. We're still involved in a lot of things. Same in Australia, you're always involved in a lot of things. And you expect things to kind of get back to more of a peacetime, kind of a stand down part. And it hasn't happened. And so as you see more and more people, or you stay in touch with folks that are still serving, the kids when you got out that are now leading these same units, and they're still engaged, yeah, there's a part of you that just feels like I should be back trying to contribute, but it's a weird dynamic. We'll see if it happens to you guys, but it's definitely, at 53 years old, and you know how men's mind work. We can still do everything we could do when we were 20, and and I still think that way, and I still operate that way, even though I say I'm 25 years old, but 27 years of denial. It's one of those things that'll play. When I still get to wear the uniform as a retiree, I still wear it with a lot of pride, but there's still a part of me that say, I think I could still do this. I don't know if that's the case, but beware. So I guess my advice is, when you're ready to make that call, make sure you're truly ready.
Duly noted.
Yeah, to totally agree, Ken. I've got a lot of friends that have got out recently and the like, and that's the one thing they always miss. They miss the job, but they also miss the family and the friends that they've made in their time. And not that you'll ever lose those friendships, but I think it's just not the same thing. It's like it's the same as a sporting team. You hear a lot of sportsmen finish their careers, sportsmen and women, sorry, and they'll say the same thing. They don't miss the game; they miss the people they were with.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. And if you do go back, and I know this, it would never be exactly the way it was.
No,
the chemistry, the dynamics, it would be too much. But no, that's great, Nathan. Tell us about.
I think that's pretty much it from the career side of things. I still love the fact that I know everything, like you just said before, with regards to the training side of things. Do you think the tempo would go down? I know for us at the moment here in Australia, there's a lot of active things going on at the moment that's not involved in that sort of thing. Like with regard to the bushfires, we've got a lot of Army personnel dealing with that. Plus, now
Right.
We've got the coronavirus, which is hitting up. So we've actually supported a lot in that in different areas around the world and stuff like that. So there's still a lot of things happening that you need to support in that. And also, but obviously we're training for that worst case scenario as well. So even though everyone sees us a lot and thinks, oh yeah, you're going out to, destroy or beat the enemy, but our role is also to look after your country, and that's a big role that we play here in Australia. We're here to, when there's floods happening, when there's fires, we're always there, not long after it starts, and we're there to help out those that are affected, and that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, it's incredible. What is the situation now with the fires? Is it getting more and more under control, or is it still as bad as it was?
I think it's a lot better than what it was probably 2 to 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
The men and women down there, the firefighters, the defense personnel, just those personnel that are there just to help, especially the families, the animals down there. As you've probably seen over there, just seeing those poor animals who can't speak. Awful. It almost brings tears to your eyes. So just to support that, and especially the donations that you've seen around the world just for this, it just goes to show, and it's a sad thing that something bad has to happen for the world or people to come together to be able to work together and help each other out. And that's seen throughout I think our lifetime. But just goes to show, when push comes to shove, is that we'll always be there for our neighbors and for our friends to help out when we can.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier about the tsunami and supporting that, and I was on active duty at the same time too, but we weren't mobilized for that. But I remember in Indonesia, particularly, right after 9/11, there were people celebrating that event, and then when the tsunami hit, they were begging for the U.S. to help, and we did, and obviously you guys did as well. And it's one of those things where, politics aside, you're right. I think most of the time when I was younger and in my career, there were many more humanitarian events going on than warlike events, and people forget what the service does. And that's an interesting aspect of what Travis is assigned to do, because he's National Guard, which means he's trained to deploy both ways. So whether in a global emergency or a local, just like you guys, you gotta step up and get out and help out. And it's, I guess what you say, it's never easy, never ending.
No, exactly. And it's a busy lifestyle, and like I said, without our families there, we couldn't do what we do. And if you can wake up the next day and have a smile on your face going to work, I'll like everyone else out there, I would imagine, would just keep doing the best that we can every day.
That's it.
That's a great perspective. Yep.
Absolutely. All right, Nathan. Well, I think we've got a really good show here and great information. It's not easy, I think, for a lot of people to talk about their experiences and whatnot, and I appreciate you doing it. I think it's very helpful for people to hear what other people are working on, what they're doing, and I think the perspective from another country's armed forces, one that's been partnered with the U.S. for so long, I think will be well received, and I think it'll be good. So what you'll see is some I'll get a link to you for our Facebook pages and so forth. So if people have any questions or whatnot, if you'd like to engage, we can do that. And yeah, it's a real honor to have you on board. Thank you so much.
No, thank you very much, Ken and Travis. It's been an honor. Very nice meeting the both of you. And one day I'd love to be able to speak to both of you and actually just talk about what you've done. I'll definitely love to go through and listen to the podcast. I think Zach sent me through all the episodes, so I want to spend some time over the next couple of weeks listening through. And yeah, it'd be great to have a chat to you again offline and just so we can get more in detail of what we've done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well,
it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you do get the opportunity to come back to the States, we'll make sure we stay in touch. There's a lot we can show you, especially like I said, I'm up in the New York, Boston area, so there's a lot here.
Oh, fantastic! That'd be awesome.
This has been a production of MTMR Media Works.